Greetings, this is Brother Dawood. Today, I would like to talk about Percy Robert Miller, who goes by the name of Master P, who was born April 29th, 1970, in New Orleans, Louisiana, Uptown, T.R.U housing projects. He resided with his grandmother, 4 siblings, and several other family members. Master P was referred to by his school principal as Bright Eyes. She seen the light, the determination, and the tenacity in the young Percy Robert Miller. Him being the oldest of his siblings, he always had a vision of moving his family out of harsh conditions. Him growing up in the T.R.U housing projects or in the city of New Orleans, he seen the harsh realities of crime. He saw the harsh reality of selling drugs and other harsh acts. He stated how he never really had his own bed until probably like the age of 16 or 17. He seen basketball as a ticket or a way out of the hood or the T.R.U projects. So he had dreams of becoming an NBA star. But his dreams of playing pro basketball was cut short from an injury playing college basketball. So now he had to drop out of college. He not knowing what to do, he decided to get up and head for Richmond, California, with just him, his wife, and his son. At this point, there was a malpractice suit due to the VA doctors and hospital administering his father, or should I say his grandfather, the wrong medicine, which resulted in his death. With this malpractice lawsuit, Master P had inherited $10,000. With this $10,000, he had a choice of opening a car wash or the No Limit record store. His choice was to open the No Limit record store. You follow? From this record store, he learned the knowledge of music retail. He had or saw how music was being sold, and he learned the knowledge of SoundScan, and he knew what music was being sold the most and how to market it. He stated how he went from making $10 a month from that initial $10,000 that he inherited. And with this, he decided to start his group called The Real Untouchables, also called T.R.U, also called T.R.U. If you look at the abbreviations of the word T.R.U, the abbreviation stands for The Real Untouchables. If you look at the earlier stages and him starting T.R.U, his main influences on his identity of T.R.U revolves around that of the Untouchables TV show, with the hats, the suits, with the Tommy guns. Look at his earliest logo. It's two men on a tank with trench coats on, a top hat, holding a Tommy guns. Now, he also evolved around the whole NWA image. Look at the earliest members of T.R.U. You can look. The whole pattern and the whole format is that of NWA. The same, he had the Raiders hat. He had the coats, or should I say the jackets. The whole exterior was that of NWA. And some of the tracks that he put together. In the earlier part of the group, T.R.U., the members consist of himself, Big Ed, Cali G, Chili Powder, the Milkman, and King George. This group, or this phase of T.R.U., lasted out until the year of 1995, until he narrowed the group down to just himself, his brother C Murder, and his other brother Silk the Shocker. In 1995, the group releases its album called T.R.U. on No Limit Records. And the second T.R.U. album with himself and his brother C Murder and Silk the Shocker, the album is called True to the Game, which was a breakthrough for C Murder. If you go back to that Terry T's interview with KLC, he was stating how, in that interview, how when they was doing shows and was doing tours at the time, that the women was going crazy over C Murder. He was saying how they was like, oh, where's the one with the big thing on his back, the T.R.U. logo on his back. That True to the Game album was a breakthrough for C Murder. If you go on that album and listen, he had songs like Torture Chamber, The True, which was a remake of the Eazy-E song. Just that whole album, C Murder was on fire. I'm not gonna lie. When I first heard the album, because a gentleman shared it to me when I was young, I didn't know who was who. I didn't know who was C Murder. I didn't know who was Master P. I didn't know who was Silk. I didn't know who was Big Ed. I didn't know who was who. But that was my first breakthrough of No Limit, that True to the Game album. And from that point on, I remember I went to Sam Goody Records. And anything that I saw that had the No Limit logo or name on it, I bought it. I went back, I purchased all the old albums from The Ghetto's Trying to Kill Me, 99 Ways to Die, the Ice Cream Man album. And at this time, this is 1997, this when the Ghetto Dope was coming out, or I think, no, before Ghetto Dope came out, you had the Bout It soundtrack, and then you had Bout It. That movie, Bout It, opened up the floodgates for Master P and T.R.U. That movie was something that has never been done before by any other entertainer. He set forth the blueprint or the template for rappers that turn actors or businessmen. He was the first one to do that. He liked to mention sometimes that his teacher or his mentor is Rap-A-Lot CEO James Prince or Jay Prince. But Master P, he was the one to take his record as a platform and catapult into other arenas. He was the first one to have a P&D deal of the magnitude he had it of an 85, 15% deal. He benefited from having a P&D, which is called a press and distribution deal. He received the majority of the cut of album sales, and those who pressed up his catalog or his music received 15% of the share of the album. This was never done before, and this allowed Master P to wrestle or get into other arenas via sports, films, clothing, communications, jewelry, auto accessories, fast food franchises, and a host of other avenues of business. I know I said that this video is going to be called The Story of T.R.U. or T.R.U. Yes, it is. My reason for calling that is because T.R.U. or T.R.U., the real untouchables, have really been untouchable as far as its success. Look at Master P's track record. I remember in that year of 97, grabbing everything that had the Master P name on it, or the tank logo looking like Dick Tracy, or the Untouchables with the long trench coats on, the Tommy guns with the hats. I remember going back, buying everything that had those names or those imprints on it. I remember subscribing to Murder Dog because it was a underground rap magazine, and in those Murder Dog magazines, they always had a lot of interviews of Master P. So I became a big No Limit fan. But that 1997, Master P opened up the doors, or T.R.U. opened up the doors, far as this influx of music. You know, every month, a couple Tuesdays out of the month, a No Limit record was being dropped. You know, that's something that you call the real untouchable, because he said it. He said it on that night that the Ice Cream Man intro to the album. If y'all go back and listen to that the Ice Cream Man intro to the album, man, that intro was bad, man. He said what? He said I could drop an album anytime I want. He said I could drop an album right now. You know that when I listened to that album, I know he was telling the truth, because he showed and proved that he could drop an album anytime he want. He dropped the album like 3 to 4 times a month, every Tuesday, for like 2 years straight. I remember when he first made that 56 million, and it was I don't know if it was in Source magazine. It's the magazine where he had the money symbols behind him. It was like money behind him. He had, I think he had money in his hand. And then it showed his house, and he had the P engraved on the floor in his house. And then he was in the front of his house with 2 cars behind him. That's when I knew that this man, or this brother, Master P, wasn't playing. You know, he helped inspire me in some of my business endeavors. You know, I went back to school. And when I went to school, I went for business communications, because that's what he went to school for. So I was like walking in the shoes or in the shadow of him, trying to make a way out for myself and my family. But he don't get the recognition like he's supposed to on certain things because he did his thing independent. And he always been like a step ahead of those his contemporary rappers and all that. Like always been like a trendsetter, always, been in a lane of his own. Some people like to mention that he's a biter and a copycat. But I like to say this. If that's so, how come those same people that he bit or copycatted from are not in the same lane or on the same realm as him? All these things that we see from music to clothes, all of us got an idea for somewhere. I like to look at the Wu-Tang logo. When you look at how they project the Wu-Tang logo up into the sky like Batman projected the Batman logo in the sky to let you know that he has the car, would you consider that biting or copying? No. It's just that we take ideas from things we see in nature or from others, we tweak it and put our touch on it and run with it. Some of us know how to make these things work better for us, and that's what Master P, a genius at. He's a genius on taking or using different things and put his tweak on it and make it happen. And you had those who might have used their idea that might not as got as far as him. So, I'm about to wrap this piece up. This is just me freestyling. I was going to originally do it in a more formal way and go into all the old members from the earlier days of T.R.U, the Chili Bop Powders and the Milkmans and all their profiles and all that, but it's not necessary. I just wanted to touch some of the basic points of the evolution of Master P and T.R.U in my definition or my meaning of true. How, like I said, the whole Untouchables image and the earlier NWA image is how Master P started off with T.R.U. And this guy's still running, and he chose the tank as his logo because a tank is like a juggernaut. It's unstoppable. And it just keep going. And anything that tank comes encounter with is knocking the damn thing down. You follow? So, I'm about to end this piece right here. And I have a couple of other videos coming soon on numerous subjects. On hip-hop, on gangsters, on health, and other subjects. Please subscribe to my page, the T.R.U pages. And pretty soon, my Instagram and Twitter will be up. I'm coming with it, y'all. I'm coming with it. So, Godspeed.